school athletes, and welcome back to our ESPN coverage, episode number 4. Ari, what are you most excited about for this episode?
I'm just surprised that this was episode number 4. I thought it was 3, so we're just flying along this season. I'm so excited to do these tournament recaps and a special little side of Frisbee at the last part of the episode.
Ooh, I like that, like a little gentle foreshadowing. Okay, great. So let's just dive right in. So first of all, this last weekend we had the rain invite. So I think the reason for this tournament was to kind of create a tournament the same weekend as spring rain for all the teams that weren't able to go to that tournament. So Ari, do you know where it was held? Do you know what teams were in Division A? Do you know anything?
I know that there were some teams from Richmond, and I know that there's some teams from Vancouver, and I know that Eric HAMBER won.
And where was it?
Somewhere in Richmond.
Great. Okay, so Ari is totally with it. So it was the rain invite, rain being the Richmond club team structure. So of course Eric HAMBER ended up winning, but we had a surprise second place with Palmer. So we haven't seen a lot of crossover from the Richmond teams to the Vancouver teams, so this was a really good opportunity for us to get some cross-pollination to help with our power rankings, which we'll get to later. So we had RC Palmer ended up finishing really high, then Point Grey in third place. So there was a cool spirit moment during the tournament where Richmond High and DT combined their teams to play together because there was lots of injuries on both sides and a lot of new friends are made, and that is just something that I love about Ultimate. Ari, comment on that.
I love that too. I mean, you probably wouldn't see that at a soccer, rugby, or basketball match. The teams just wouldn't even want to talk to each other, and so it's a really cool part about Ultimate is that not only would you even consider playing with the other team when there's too many injuries, but of course, you know, you'll see them and play with them in the club season and whatnot, so it's just a great way to make new friends.
Absolutely. Now, another thing that was happening, so spring rain did happen, and there were a couple Canadian teams that did go, so we did have Prince of Wales that went, and they were actually in the same division as our two Elevate teams. And also Churchill went, and so Churchill was in the A division, and they went 4-0 on day one, and I believe they lost in finals?
Lost in semis.
Lost in semis, okay? So they had this like strange new player on Churchill named Aiden McKibben. I had never heard of him on Churchill, so congrats to their team for just like finding a player like that kind of at their school out of nowhere. It probably helped their success.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard Aiden's really great at grabbing water for the other players, and he's just such a supportive teammate on the sideline. So yeah, great role player adding to Churchill there.
We love to hear it. And okay, so PW also ended up doing well. They ended up beating one of the Elevate teams on Universe. Ari, can you break down a little bit about what made that game so unique?
Well, it was very windy, upwind, downwind, and so the winner of the game was the winner of the toss. Whoever chose the downwind point first, there was 0 upwind points scored, a testament to how windy it was, so congrats to PW. It was great for them to get a final victory in that tournament.
Now, we had 2 Elevate teams go, so it was a mixture of the Ducks Club that I coached last summer and some other Elevate kids that we've been coaching throughout the years, and it was just awesome to see. We were definitely one of the younger teams in the high school division. We had lots of grade 8s, which weren't even really allowed to be playing, grade 9s, grade 10s, and a couple grade 11s, so both teams finished really strong, and it was a really exciting thing. And so a lot of those kids come from a lot of these teams that were supposed to be competing at this rain tournament. So the fact that RC Palmer did as well as they did without their young star Zoe Young is just a testament to the depth of their team. Now, also Burnett in the B division was also missing Noah Lickman, who was also competing at spring rain. So both those teams with strong finishes without their young studs is just a testament, again, as I said already.
Lots of testaments. In other news, in the rain tournament, Richmond High beat Point Grey, which is, you know, a pretty strong matchup, strong win for them. However, they technically forfeited all of their Sunday games, unfortunately, due to injuries on their female matching players. Now, Steveston London, on the other hand, they've had a bit of an inconsistent tournament. You know, they beat Palmer, great team, and then they lost to Richmond High, but then they lost really big to HAMBER and Point Grey. Do you know what happened there? Do you have any
I
inside
absolutely
knowledge?
have no inside knowledge, but I do know that their close loss to Richmond High was by 1. So Steveston London is just, they're always there, they're always knocking on the doorstep. So another great tournament for them. They're just like right on the cusp. Moving into Division B, you could argue that Handsworth could have competed quite well in Division A by some of their scores, but by some of their other scores, it looked like they were sitting in the right division. So they had a real nail-biter against Hugh Boyd, which I will talk about in a little bit. But Richmond Christian putting up great scores, winning many games except for against Handsworth, so they sat comfortably at the number 2 spot in that division. Ari, can you tell me a little bit about Burnett?
Yeah, well, Burnett won most of their games except against the top 2 teams, so they came in at 3rd place, which is a great result for them.
Now, Hugh Boyd, their scores make sense. Like, they're kind of in 6th place. They lost most of their games, but then they did have that one game against Handsworth where they lost by 1. So that game stands out. If you know anything about what happened there, I'd love to hear more.
All right, on to the Valhalla Invite. Seems like there's a tournament every weekend this season, but I guess post-COVID, might as well get the games in. So, of course, we're looking to see if anyone can dethrone the evil empire, Eric HAMBER. In other news, my alma mater, Stratford Hall, has apparently folded. Do you know more about that, Danny?
I know nothing.
Okay, well, we just heard this actually today. Apparently, the senior team, which did have some grade 10s, is now, those grade 10s are joining back to the junior team, and that junior team is even going to be doing tryouts. And so I think there's going to be a lot of talent coming into that grade 10 team. Ryan Young is a great player. Kira is a great player. And so they're hopefully going to be stacked, and maybe they'll have a chance to do some damage at the junior division, both in this tournament and at provincials.
Yeah, so this tournament is really exciting to us at Elevate and the ESPN network because we are going to be seeing 10 of 16 of our top 16 teams. So all of our power ranked teams basically are going to be here competing across all the districts. So it's really going to be a good indicator of whether our power rankings are legit or not and where these teams stand this late into the season. So another exciting addition to the tournament, though, is that Kamloops is sending down their team. So we're going to get a great look at them against all of these other Lower Mainland squads. So we'll be able to rank them, hopefully, appropriately now that they're going to be there. So super excited to have you, Kamloops. Welcome to the ESPN network. We would love to shout you out and get you some footage. Just hit up our socials if you're listening to this.
Now, in recent league play, Burnaby North Junior has started to look a bit human. They had a tight win just by 1 point over Mosscrop, a team that is a little bit more novice. And so we're excited to see Burnaby North match up against teams like Stratford Hall, especially now that those grade 10s are back. We're curious to see where they fit in the power rankings.
Right, so welcome to our power rankings discussion. They're going to be posted on our Instagram. If you haven't already seen them, go check it out, tag your team, share, spread the hate about all the different things that we got wrong about your teams. We love to hear it, okay? So coming in at number 16, we have Templeton. Now, Ari, can you tell me and everybody listening to this and watching this why Templeton cracked into the top 16?
Well, obviously they have some great top-end talent. Those top-end talent, we got Isabel, we got Griffin. They're clearly doing a great job of developing those younger players, and we just haven't really seen them all play together at the same time. So I think they've cracked that top 16 with that potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they've been doing a good job with their line calling this season. They haven't been stacking the lines and riding their stars into the ground every single time. So I think that they're doing a very good job of developing their bench. So I expect them to peak at the right time. So coming in at number 15, we have Gladstone. They've been sitting at the top of our power rankings internally for Tier 2 since the beginning. They've had solid performances all season long. I'm excited to see them perform a little bit more against the Tier 1 teams.
Coming in next at 14, we got John Oliver. Still a bit of a mystery. Don't have too much info on their players, but been putting up some great scores against great teams, coming in at a deserved 14.
And at the 13th spot, we have Queen Elizabeth from the South Fraser District. They've had strong games to start the season, but they had some injuries that plagued them a little bit in the polls for Parkinson's, which made them seem a little bit vulnerable. They ended up losing to Mosscrop at one point, so they might not have the depth to crack into the top 10, but right now we have them sitting comfortably at number 13.
On to 12, we have Handsworth. Obviously, Danae Jan is a powerhouse. She helps them, get some games. They obviously won the B division in the rain tournament, and now we're just hoping to see if they crack into that top 10.
Coming in at number 11, we have the Churchill Bulldogs. So after a strong finish at spring rain, even with some hiccups, the team is poised to make some noise. We think that they have gained some necessary experience and that they're going to be competitive for the rest of the season.
Woof woof. Coming at number 10, McNeil. Again, not too much information on this team, but putting up great scores against great teams in the Richmond division. Looking forward to see how they do at the various tournaments once all the districts are together.
Now coming in at number 9, we have Seaquam, another South Fraser team. They did super well at Polls for Parkinson's. I believe they finished 3rd place overall. Just like really good job. I'm excited to see if we can get some more cross-pollination to get more information about them, but for now they have landed at number 9.
At 8, we have Point Grey Hounds. They did have a shaky start to the beginning of the season, getting bageled by their rival Eric Hamber's never a great start, but they've come back strong, putting up great results in league and tournament play, and poised to make a run at provincials.
Number 7, we have STMC. They are not a stranger to being in the top. They've been a perennial powerhouse, and they're definitely poised to be having another strong season with strong tournaments in the 5v5 tournament and also a strong tournament at the Polls for Parkinson's.
At number 6, we have Palmer, one of the best teams in Richmond. They finished 2nd in the Rain Invite, beating some Tier 1 Vancouver teams, a well-deserved 6th place.
Number 5 is Burnaby Mountain, near and dear to my heart, a program that I started a long time ago. It's so great to see them popping off this season. They've been putting up good scores all season long. They have a 2nd place and a 3rd place finish in both the tournaments they've competed in. So well-deserved Burnaby Mountain, and a surprise top 10 for that squad.
All right, number 4, coming from the Fraser South Division, Guildford Park. They've been winning all season. They won Polls for Parkinson's against Mountain, the number 5 division. Number 5 seed, so we think GP is a solid fit for number 4.
I would even say that they potentially are underseeded here, but we have yet to really see them compete against these other teams. I know Burnaby North beat them. Burnaby North is seeded right now for us at number 3, and I think that game was really tight. I think it was Universe, but Burnaby North has just had a little bit more experience against top teams, so we have them just edging out Guildford Park by 1 spot, but I think that one's really up in the air. So Burnaby North coming in at number 3, lots of mischief players, strong coaching staff, and a strong program, great scores all season long. They have shown some weaknesses and some vulnerabilities, so top 3 finish for now.
At number 2, we have Sutherland. They did win the 5v5 tournament. They've been doing nothing but winning since. However, again, it's tough to know in the North Vancouver district how good the competition is and how they will do against the better teams once they hit provincials.
Now coming in at number 1, I think this is going to shock everybody. Hold your horses, hold on to your seat.
Kelowna Middle School.
It's Eric Hamber. Alright, so we are not surprised about this. The one thing that will be surprising is if they ever lose a game this season. So they've got a target on their backs. They've got that number 1 spot on lockdown. So can anyone dethrone Eric Hamber this season?
I think so.
So there you have it, folks. Those are our top 16 power ranked teams. We have a couple close to cracking the top 16. So honorable mentions, we have Argyle, Quantland Park, Richmond High, Heritage Woods, and Tite. So those teams are just right on the edge. We kind of had a lot of debates for the 15th and 16th spots. So expect a lot of these power rankings to shift and move week over week. So congratulations to all those teams, and we look forward to seeing you playing at the tournament this weekend.
All right, for the last segment of this ESPN episode, it's springtime. The flowers are blooming. Love is in the air.
Is it?
And part of this season is prom. Now, prom-posals are super cute. They're super great, and something that was inspired by Gordon Chuck, who is the spirit captain from HAMBER Senior A, is that people are looking for prom dates.
Especially Gordon Chuck.
Especially Gordon Chuck. He even said it in his interview at Rain Invite. So, what we're asking of you, or inviting you, is that if you want to do a promposal and you want to make it Frisbee themed, please send it to us. Tag us in the pictures or videos, of you doing this promposal, and the cutest or most original one, we will sponsor it. We will give you a couple $100 to buy your formal ticket, do something nice for your prom date. We will make it an elevated date, you could say.
You could say that. Maybe a limo? I don't know. The world's your oyster. So make sure that you send us your submissions, and we will be making a post about this as well. So if you missed that, you can catch up on our Instagram. So entries are going to be due by May 31. So you basically have a month to get on your horses and propose to somebody, Frisbee style.
Ultimate style.
Elevate style. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and if you are a junior player and you love Ultimate and you've even thought about the chance to represent your country for Team Canada, there are Team Canada tryouts coming up next weekend, so that is May 7th and 8th, so it'll be the Sunday, May 8th. There's places to register, the deadline's going to be in a couple days, so there's nothing to lose to try out and everything to gain. It's such a great experience. Whether you make it or not, it's a great experience. So this is my plea to you to sign up to register, and we'll see you there.
Thanks again for tuning in to ESPN. Hit us up on Instagram, join the Discord, and we look forward to your games being elevated.